Hey guys, Jostes here, CEO at Ramblin Jackson. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how this current coronavirus and/or potential recession really creates an opportunity and really a necessity for you as the leader of your landscaping company to show up in a bigger way, and how we're going to be handling it at Ramblin Jackson, how consumers are going to react to this and how that impacts your marketing, and ultimately the opportunity that this creates for you to truly grow and thrive and ultimately serve more people. First, wanted to share with you our current plan on how to handle this whole coronavirus thing. It is Sunday, March 15th. I'm using my best judgment to interpret information out there and make plans accordingly. Now, things could change that are unforeseen, and we've got to be very skeptical of the information out there. With that said, here I believe is the best plan for us at this time. First of all, we're going to work normal hours. We're going to be working our normal business hours. We're going to be keeping our appointments with you, running our day-to-day operations. Second is that we're going to be running 100% remotely. Now, we're fortunate in the sense that I've been running a mostly remote company for years, and in September, I haven't really publicly announced this, we actually closed our office, and we've been fully remote since that time. I just didn't need the office anymore. I started hiring full-time employees around the country, and in many ways, we're really prepared to continue working remotely. We've been doing this for you already. So if you have any questions about how to lead your team remotely, how to run a remote meeting, how to do videos like this, things like that, reach out to me, jack@ramblinjackson.com. I'd be happy to share resources and things like that with you. The third thing is that I really believe that this is a prime opportunity for you to grow your business and for you as a small business leader to serve your community. I feel like one of our core values here is raise the stakes. And this is a moment in the world where we need to raise the stakes as small business owners, as leaders, as managers, as humans, as neighbors. And there's really a lot of opportunity for you to grow, and marketing is a quintessential component to that. And I'm going to share more about that below. Before we talk about opportunities, I want to acknowledge how serious the situation is. And, people are going to get sick. Some of them will die. That's very serious, and our hearts and prayers go out to all of you, your family, your friends, our neighbors, everyone, to get through this as a group of people, as a human race. And with that said, I feel like there's a calling for us as small business owners and as entrepreneurs, and to serve and to run our businesses and to be here for each other and for the people who work for us, and that this is really an opportunity to lead. Entrepreneur comes from the French word for risk undertaker, right? Entrepreneurs are weird, visionary people who see the light, who see the opportunity, and that's you. And we need people like you to see through the noise and the chaos and the panic and the fear that is created right now. It's created, and we've got to be careful to sift through. Yes, there is very serious health issue happening, and we've got to power through and lead our companies and keep working. So my question for you is, how can you show up as a leader at this time in your organization, in your neighborhood, in your community? And I'm going to share some ideas with you on that as we go on. Here's the deal. Spring is here. Just today, I saw this. I was looking around my yard, and I saw these beautiful plants just bursting up through the mulch that I laid down last fall. And I'm excited, and it's going to be here, and weeds are going to be popping up, and lawns are going to need to be mowed, and people are going to need to be spending even more time in their homes, and there's going to be even more work to be done, and people are going to be stressed, and they're not going to take care of these things, and there's going to be still need for landscaping. All the work needs to be done. And fortunately, many of you who are lawn and landscape contractors are outside. You don't need to be in people's homes to do it. So largely, it's time to get to work. I know that this is a scary time for a lot of us, and that many of you are way more experienced in this than I am. I've only been in business for 10 years. And it reminds me of 2008 when I graduated college, when the stock market crashed and Rocky Mountain News went out of business. I had studied theater and journalism and thought, oh, I'm going to write for a newspaper and play in my band, right? That was my dream all along, what I thought I would do. But if the market didn't crash and if Facebook didn't emerge as this powerhouse, and same thing with Google, or the iPhone wasn't created and disrupt the whole print world to create this new digital world, I never would have created Ramblin Jackson. I never would have needed to. And I was looking, we spent more than $1 million last year. I didn't create my business to have a ton of expense, but hey, small businesses like ours contribute so much to the economy, to the people, to all the taxation that was taken out during that time, all those things. And none of that opportunity, none of the people that work for me, or the opportunity that we've created for our clients, or the people who have found them that work for them, would have happened if this really scary thing didn't happen in 2008. And so while this is a really scary time, there are going to be new opportunities created. Will there be a thinning of the herd? Will the weak businesses just not make it? And what kind of opportunity will that create for you to hire new people, better people who are out looking for work? Maybe there will be outfits that are struggling that you could acquire, right? There will be all kinds of opportunities. One of the things that's already changing is communication and events. There have been so many concerts and trade shows and things like that have been canceled. For those of you who are relying on, doing a trade show or a home and garden show, what are you going to do? What's going to change? Will your customers want to invite you into their home as much as they used to have a face-to-face conversation? Probably not. Could you learn to sell over video? Could you have a video conference and have a screen share where you walk people through your lawn maintenance plans or your landscape designs? Belly to belly handshakes. I have so many people who say, well, my business is belly to belly. It's all about trust and relationship. And that's cool, man. But people they're not going to trust the handshake. Literally, the handshake is going to go away for a period. So how will you adapt the way that you communicate and you sell and how you manage people? Can you have a tough conversation with an employee over a video? And how will you make up for that lack of in-person belly to belly? I'll give you a secret. Video. If you're watching this, we're engaged, right? We're going to talk at some point. I hope to see you in person at some point when it makes sense. And my question for you is, how could you leverage video? How could you leverage case studies on your website? How can you email more people during that sales process, things that are helpful to them that create that sense of trust with them so they choose you over someone else? How can you shift what you were relying on, your in-person communication skills, your handshake, your smile, all those things? How can you transfer that in a way that you're communicating in a very leveraged digital way? Right now, with the stock market and everything, who knows what's going to happen or when it'll change? But the fact is, at some point, people will buy again. They will buy. They might buy something differently, or they may spend a different amount of money than they'd originally planned, but they will buy. And especially if they can't sell their house or whatever, they're going to probably invest in making it great so it is ready to sell when the time is right. But one thing I can say with great certainty is that people will become more cautious of how they spend their money, with whom, to make sure that they're getting the best value. And that's where consumers are going to spend more time researching online than ever before. Just look at how glued people are to the online news and social media. I don't recommend that you consume nearly that much information, but a lot of people will. And the fact is, we're moving in an even more digital direction where your online presence is more important than ever. A few key questions for you is, how important is it that when people are considering you versus a competitor or even nothing at all, that you stand out as the superior choice, that you stand out as offering more value for people's dollar. And how will they do that? And how will they know that online? How will you stand out as the choice for not only your customers, but for the employees that are looking to work at a stable, reliable company? How will you do that online? How can you let your customers know that your company is thinking of them and proactively taking care of them during this whole coronavirus thing with hygiene, with processes? How can you communicate that with them to make them feel at ease? And if you had to operate with a smaller team, how important is it that you were working with the right projects with as little windshield time and logistical issues as possible to work in the most leveraged way, taking on projects that you actually want that create a profit? And most importantly, guys, what opportunity is coming out of this for you to lead and to serve and to be there for your team, for your families, for your communities? At Ramblin Jackson, we're committed to helping you work through this. If you want to learn more about how you can expand your presence, things that people are going to be looking for online, and you're one of our clients, reach out to your account manager and we'll get a strategy call. If you're one of our Wild Frontier landscape clients, we're starting a mastermind. Make sure you join us for that so you can talk with other business leaders about what they're doing. And for lawn and landscape companies watching this, if you're not working with us already, reach out. We'll have a phone call. It's a marketing strategy meeting. And the good news is we've done over 1,000 of these calls, and we really help people on that first call. And don't worry, we won't even need to shake hands until it makes sense someday. Maybe, but maybe not. All right. So you can schedule that at ramblinjackson.com/schedule. And I know that you're wanting to read more and consume more information at this time, and that you're concerned about your business. So I want to share a couple resources with you of people that I've presented with, people who are really experienced in this. One is Marcus Sheridan. If you haven't read his book, They Ask, You Answer, you've got to. And Marcus ran a pool building company that actually grew during the last recession, and he went on to write a best-selling book about it that I'm a big fan of. I presented with him at Tony Bass's event. So read his article. I linked to it at the end of this post where the video is embedded, about should you cut your marketing budget during tough times or not? And how did his company actually grow during the last recession? And I actually interviewed Tony Bass, who's the author of The E-Myth Landscape Contractor. He built and sold a lawn and landscape company that he ran through the 80s, went through a couple different recessions, and he has a lot of experience and wisdom on that. So check out his interview on that. And last but not least, make sure you wash your hands, you filthy animals. All right. I thank you guys for watching this, and I look forward to working through this with you.